Salute. Walter. Emilo Latimo Mohoye. De Lafia. Divine risings and rotations. Beloved army. Beloved army. Near. One's purpose is not always what one wants in the physical sense. We have to understand that purpose is a spiritual process. It's a spiritual agreement. It's a spiritual mission that's carried out in the physical world. And sometimes it's not even carried out in the physical world. It stays in the spiritual world, but it affects the physical world. But in the sense of what most of us have reasonings about when we're reasoning about purpose, intention, aim, reason, divine character or journey, path, route, road, job, duty, occupation, position. We're talking about why you came here. And since we live in a world that doesn't teach us why we came here, because it's not conducive to the gluttony of this world to teach people why they're here. Because most of the reasons why we're here, especially at present, is to implement something to change the conditions of what the world looks like today. There are a lot of brothers out there that are benefiting from misogyny. So they'll find religious terminology or religious philosophy or theory or ideology to confirm and consolidate or solidify misogyny. And some sisters will do the same thing on the flip side. But the real reality is that each of us are here to create a state of unity, a state of equality, a state of justice, a state of harmony, a state of balance, a state of order. Ana are all here to create 9 and 9 conclusion. 9 and 9, 18, 1 and 8 is 9. But 8, to build, to construct. We are here to construct, to build a paradise. A reason to be inspired to live in harmony and love. In love and light, truth and right. It's not an easy route when you, as a collective, go so long finding peace in being individualistic, finding peace in being selfish instead of selfless. See, and as I've said before, selfish is not a bad thing when you see yourself as you see everybody else, and you see everybody else as yourself. Then being selfish is the goal, because it's also being selfless. But you can't see everybody else as yourself to the extent that you ignore the differences. It's like when you have a person of European descent saying something like, I don't see colors. Well, in saying I don't see colors, you're saying I don't see identity. And each and every one of us as individuals have an identity. Each and every one of us as an ethnic group, a tribe, or nation, a community, a society, a family, have an identity. And in the lane of purpose, that identity is manifested divinely in this world so we can implement it effectively in the going ons of this world. so we can show this world a version of itself that can better benefit the bigger picture of itself. And if you don't see color and you don't see uniqueness, if you don't see uniqueness, then you don't see purpose. And this is why they'll teach you that everybody should be in some general state of reality, some general acceptance of how things should sound, look, and feel. But the reality is that each and every single one of us have come here to implement something special. And so examine yourself and ask yourself, am I doing the exact same thing? Because sometimes we do the exact same thing, but we're doing high levels of the exact same thing, and we're still not fulfilling purpose. Because purpose is to take that high level and elevate it to another level because you put your critique on it. You put your design on it. You put your mark on it. You put your imagery on it. And then when the next person the next person comes along, or the next people come along as individuals, they put their individuality on the collective picture. And a true individuality understands the value of the collective. So a true individuality is a contributing factor of the collective, like the human body. The brain is a contributing factor to the eyes. The eyes are a contributing factor to the brain. The nose and its nostrils contributing factors to the eyes and the brain. The mouth a contributing factor to the eyes, the brains, the nose. The ears a contributing factor to the mouth, the eyes, the brains, and the nose and the nostrils. The hands, the arms, the feet, the nails, the hair, the chakra systems in and of itself, the antennas are contributing factors one to the other, each one doing its job uniquely to make the bigger picture work better, to make the bigger picture be more effective. And that's purpose. So you have to find, what is it that you do? Even if it's the same thing that other people do, what is it that you do with the same thing that other people do that's a unique version? Is it the way you say it? Is it the way you feel it? Is it the way you think it? Is it the way you see it? And then master the art of describing how you see it, how you feel it, and how you think it, and how you speak it. Master the art of speaking it, how you think it, how you feel it, how you see it. Master the art of it. And then you extend that to the world. And then the world will embrace what you've mastered. You'll be the scientist of it, but the world will embrace it. And then they'll take their individualities and elevate it. So all of our purposes here are to elevate each other, elevate ourselves, heal each other, heal ourselves, enlighten each other, enlighten ourselves, discipline each other, discipline ourselves, advise each other, advise ourselves, counsel each other, counsel ourselves, protect each other, protect ourselves. So my brothers protecting women, my sisters protecting men, my brothers protect the women that are still in a girl state, because we have an obligation within our purpose to lift them, resurrect them, to exhume them from this tomb of girlness and raise them, resurrect them into the womb or the body of womanhood. And sisters, the same thing apply to these brothers who are conscious or non-conscious, but pseudo in a boy's state or wholly in a boy's state. That doesn't mean that you have to spend your time with them, but drop a jewel and move, especially depending on the state, the state that they're in. You drop a jewel and you move. Now, if they're pseudo conscious and you drop a few jewels, you sit with them, keep dropping jewels, and you move on. But you have an obligation within your purpose to exhume them, to resurrect them, to rejuvenate them, not to bring them back into the same state that they're in, or even the same exact state that they formerly were, because they were children that never grew into men. They were children that grew into male bodies, male minds even, but they were never given the ability to embrace the man mind, the man mentality. And instead, what ended up happening is people wrongly gave them titles that were God sufficient. And they weren't sufficient at being men. And in the body, you have to be sufficient at being a man or a woman before you can be sufficient at being a god or a goddess. Because until you are psychologically, physically, and spiritually self-sufficient, and self-sufficient means that the collective, your collective is included in your self-sufficiency. Until the identities that reflect you can do everything that they need to do for themselves. That means until you are in a space to contribute enough of your uniqueness to the point that those who reflect you on this, not only on the same level as you now, but you're able to care for each other in all your needs and your wants and need nothing else. But this is our obligation. This is part of our niyyah. This is part of our purpose, our intention. This is part of our agreement upon entering into this world, is to pull us back together. So let us stop bickering and arguing and being offensive and defensive when it comes to each other. Now, that doesn't mean take a traitor in. Remove a traitor from your presence. Remove a deceiver from your presence. And sometimes traitors and deceivers look like you. But what that means is understand the difference between a deceiver and a traitor who is deceived and traded intentionally, and someone who has been brainwashed to be deceivers and traitors and need healing, because we all need healing. Stay focused, stay positive, stay around focused and positive people. Never lose who you are. Once you know who you are, never sacrifice who you are for nothing and nobody. Don't just wake up. Get out of the bed and stay out of the bed and assist others in rising from that slumber. Alafia Farano Womo Nife Ray Lai Nidi Wope Aka Sima Kayeri on Yon Kopona Ka Kayeri and Frama. Muntu Enga Bantu Laila Iniwaju Koriseki. Fíjate no. Yasoto eto Farako Bachi. Yasoto eto Farako Bachi. Yasoto eto Farako Bachi. Salute, peace and motivation, wholeness and motivation. Have an illuminating day. I love y'all immortally.